Hey, what is up guys, Jay Burton here, and today I'm bringing you another video, and this is a speed farming video for the Barbarian for 2.4.1, and I'm calling this the 330 build. It's not really creative, I know. It's basically, you're moving at 330% movement speed, which is quite a bit. This is meant for farming Torment 6 and Torment 7 things. For Torment 6, it's for doing rifts really quickly, or power leveling friends really quickly. But the main purpose is for running through bounties. Remember, at Torment 6, you only get 3 mats when you get a Heraldric Cache from bounties. Torment 7, it goes up to 4. And Torment 10 only does 5, so there's not a big gap there. So honestly, I think this is the most efficient way on a barb to farm mats. So anyways, let's go over the gear. I'm running the waist set. It's not really mandatory. I only use it for the Dust Devils, to help clean up mobs that I miss, or in case I don't want to have to, sway out of a direction to go get somebody, the Dust Devils can potentially hit them. But not mandatory. You could even fit in the Sage's set if you want more Death Breaths. And then the necklace, I'm just using a pretty good Traveler's Pledge. You ideally would probably want to get a Hellfire Necklace with a pretty good passive. I'll talk about that in a second. Then we're running Nemesis Bracers. You don't have to have this if you're doing the bounties. It's just great if you need to spawn an elite to hurry up and kill it to get the Ingeome buff. We are running Ingeome, and you really want to try to keep that buff up as much as you can. So this helps with that. And we're using Pride of Cassius belt. This is important. Because of the ruin, with Ignore Pain, we can move faster as long as Ignore Pain is up. So we want Ignore Pain up as long as possible. So a maxed out 6 seconds Pride of Cassius is excellent. And for the ring, I'm running Skull Grasp and the Zodiac ring. Skull Grasp did get a buff. The damage is now multiplicative. I think I said that right. So it's a pretty decent buff. And then Obsidian Ring, just to try to keep all of our cooldowns come back up as much as possible. But if you have like ancient BK weapons, you can probably get rid of Skull Grasp and go with a Avarice Band. Sorry, excuse me. So with the Avarice Band, you're picking up gold, which I'm running Boon of the Hoarder. You don't have to do that, but I'm running it. So Avarice would help, pick up the gold and keep that buff up. And that's it for the gear. In terms of the gems, I'm running the Bane of the Trapped, just a big damage increase for Whirlwind. Boon of the Hoarder, just for the movement speed increase. And then Wreath of Lightning, just for the movement speed increase. In terms of stats, I would actually say try to avoid attack speed. I am heavy in attack speed, and so I'm at the point where I'm even running out of Fury, even with 2 passives that generate Fury. I mean, the faster you attack, the more you're going to benefit from the Ring of the Zodiac, and the more tornadoes you're going to shoot out. So it's kind of give or take. You need to experiment what you need to be at. Otherwise, go for critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and then cooldown reduction. I wouldn't say CDR is a big importance with this build since we're running the Ingeome, but it's still a nice stat to have. Okay, that's it for the gear. Let's move on to the skills. So for the left click, I'm running Battle Rage Ferocity. So Battle Rage gives a damage increase buff, and the Ruin gives us a 15% movement speed increase, which is awesome. For right click, of course, we're running Whirlwind. I'm using the Hurricane Ruin just to help pull people into me. That way I don't have to go out of my path, to hit them. I can bring them to me. But you don't have to use that Ruin, that's not mandatory. And then for skill slot 1, Sprint with Marathon, which is a 40% movement speed increase. Button 2, Threatening Shout with Terrify Run. The reason why I'm running Terrify, if you don't know what it does, it makes your Threatening Shout fear people. We're running the Larceny ring, so whenever we fear people, we gain a 60% movement speed increase, which is huge, so that's why we're running that. For button 3, using Ignore Pain, Bravado, Ignore Pain gives I think it's a 20% movement speed increase, and this is up pretty much almost all the time. And then Wrath of Berserker also gives a 20% movement speed increase. This is hard to manage the whole time, but when you get the Ingeome buff, plus the passive we're using. I'll talk about that in a second. It's up quite a bit at the time. Okay, so for the passives, you don't have to run when I'm running. I think my attack speed is too high, so I just can't support my Fury without these passives. But if you don't have problems with your Fury, you can swap these out for damage increase passives. Absolutely. So running a Weapon Master, generate Fury, Animosity, generate Fury. Rampage I feel is a must, just because it's so easy to stack that up, and this just helps you one-shot those elite packs. And I'm running Boonable Kathos just because I don't have enough cooldown reduction really on my gear, and this just helps, as much as possible keep that up. Now with the Hellfire Necklace, try to get one of these 4 stats, or a DPS stat, or the Health Globe stat. I forgot what it's called. They changed the name once, but now it's where whenever you pick up a Health Globe, you gain life regeneration and 4% movement speed increase, and it stacks up 5 times. If you do decide to wear the Avarice band over Skull Grasp, you'll really benefit from that a lot. You could even go over 330% easily. But for now, this is just what I'm comfortable with. Okay, and then the Cube. Running in Gym, I decided this was really worth it so we could spam Ignore Pain and Threatening Shout, which just constant speed increase. And then in my slot 2, I'm using the Warzashi and Warbands, or whatever it's called, where every time you break an object, you gain a movement speed increase. That one's not really mandatory, because if you're in an area where there's nothing to break, you're not really benefiting from it. You could maybe take the, I can't remember the name, the pants where as long as you're moving, you do more damage and resource cost reduction is reduced. And then if you're staying still, you do less damage and your abilities cost more. Don't know why I can't think of that name. But anyways, I like the warbands because a lot of places do have destructible objects. And then of course the ring of Larceny. Every time you fear somebody, you gain a 60% movement speed increase. That's a huge movement speed increase, and we're fearing people pretty much constantly. So that's overall the build. The main purpose of this, as I said, is to farm bounties. I mean, you can do it for rifts, but honestly, if you're going to farm rifts, you should do them on Torrent 10 with the Raycore IK speed build. Once again, I'm probably going to do a video on that tomorrow. Or the next day. One of those days, I'll get it done. But yeah, if you haven't tried this one out, it's so fun. Just moving at 330% speed is a blast. Alright guys, well if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button for me. And take care.